say that I was going live as you were talking because you were in the middle of talking, but you
Okay.
just didn't take a
I
break.
just assumed you were probably live already.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, because they're like in the train station, so they're like the
They're
train
like
station person, whatever
they're like
called.
bodega cats, but for
Yeah, but like
train stations.
Yeah.
Wait, join that stream together.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's the thing I have to do. Sorry, I was trying to find your chat. Hey, Lazy.
Hello, Lazy.
How are you doing?
Hi.
Hey, only I'm allowed to say hi.
Okay.
It's in my chat.
All right, my fault.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
he's
sorry.
talking. Oh shit, it's over. Cooked. Oh, I actually added something new to my stream.
Ian. How are you doing?
Which is.
Are you talking? I'm talking. Am I muted? Chat, am I muted? Uh-oh. Am I muted? Am I muted, guys?
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm muted. Hold up. Something's not right. Audio output. Hello? Testing? Testing? Why am I muted? Hello?
Imagine a world where you're just getting trolled right now and you're not muted in this.
No, I am muted. I am seeing on OBS. I am muted.
Fuck are you, how did you mute yourself? Weird.
I don't know. No, it's just like not receiving input from the mic, it looks like. Yes, I'm trying to fix my mic.
Now you know how it feels to be me anytime we're streaming together. Whenever I'm trying to fix my issue and you go, invite me to the stream together, share your screen. Now you know what it's like.
I forget, this has happened before, and I don't remember what I did to fix it.
Just like change your mic in, like go to the mic input, change it to something different, save it, and then change it back.
Yeah, that's what I just did, yeah. Let me try, honestly, it's a nice change.
Honestly, you might be right. You might be cooking with that one.
Hello? Hello, is this working? You can hear me, right? So it's an OBS issue.
I think that honestly OBS might have the correct one, and I think Discord
there we go.
might
There we
have
go.
the issue.
It's working now. Oh, Discord might have changed the mic.
Oh yeah, I think Discord actually has the issue because I can hear you fine and OBS can't, which sounds like OBS has the correct one.
All right, bro. I'm back.
All right, join the stream together.
Yeah. I'm joining the stream together. Why does everybody hate me?
Why does everybody hate you?
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, he's back. It's so mean.
Alright. Oh, what was the thing? Were there, you mentioned bugs. Oh yeah, the invulnerable debug doesn't work or something?
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
At all?
Yeah, no.
Weird.
At least I don't think so. I tested it. There's that on the weird slime thing that you can look at.
I fixed the slime thing, don't worry. Player health invulnerable is on, and then if I were to spawn like Dickhead McGee.
Because B is too cool to hate.
This is true.
Alright, bro. Like, so we're just lying now.
What are you talking about? The invulnerable debug doesn't work.
It doesn't work on my end. Maybe it depends on what enemy you're getting hit by.
Oh, if you reload into a level, it will probably reset.
No, I like 100% turned it on while I was... Oh wait, is it like if you change a scene, like...
Yeah.
But you should read your chat. It's a very important question.
I really like your videos. If you may ask, why did I stop making them? Because mainly because I make the videos whenever I have something that I feel like I really want to talk about or really want to teach people about. And if I don't have that, I don't force myself to make videos. And also just general, like I have other things in life that have been a little bit more important.
Like making videos about Dante 9?
Or like making the game, actually. Because I like game dev first, videos second. And game dev comes first for me, I would say. But I do want to make more videos. There's a couple of things in Dante's 9 that I want to cover in a video that I think would help some people out. Also, yeah, if you change to a level, the invulnerable doesn't work. You have to turn it off and back on, and then it should
Okay, maybe that's what the issue was. Is like I might have turned it on like before going to another.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, I thought.
I wonder. Box might actually reset
thought
it as
it
well.
was
Yeah,
working.
box resets it as well. It's not like a full invulnerable
Okay.
thing. It's like a, hey, I'm doing this thing for now. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
But, like,
it wasn't meant
it
to be like a
doesn't-
full
it's
debug
not
invulnerable.
Then why is it a debug toggle that says invulnerable in the debug
Because it
menu?
works, like, it's not meant to work 100% of the time. It just works like 90% of the time if you know what the thing you're trying to avoid the attack of is. Like, if I'm like, I just want to be
Yeah,
around
but,
enemies
like-
and not take damage, that works perfectly fine. I know when this works and when it
But
doesn't.
like I want to play through the entire game without taking damage.
You want to
so
play
that
through the
way I
entire...
can test
Oh,
stuff.
there's a way you can do that, actually. You can play through the entire game without taking damage if you just don't get hit. If you just don't... If you don't suck at your own game, you can actually get through the game without taking any damage whatsoever.
Alright, bro. Oh, by the way, we got like a bunch of playtesters recently.
Really? What?
Because it got put on playtester.com. Is that what it's called?
Oh, the
Yeah, playtester.io.
playtester.io.
It's just like a site that like hosts playtests.
Did you put it there, or did...
I honestly don't remember. I might have.
Oh my god, that's so weird. Holy shit, that feels weird.
What?
I went to the website because I was like, I wonder what this is. And like, there it is. It's just
Yeah,
there.
well, I think it sorts by like newest by
I'd
default.
imagine it's, well, popular?
If
What are the chances we're on popular somewhere?
I looked, I don't think we are.
Bro looked.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Me too.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna look.
Yeah. Dante.
Yeah, I got a bunch like
Oh, there it is. It's
I don't know if very many
pretty
have
far
played them.
Yeah, but that's
according
cool.
to the Steam DB, but like
So you said you honestly may have put it there?
Yeah, I think maybe
Well, this is discovered by
I-
official team.
uh,
I don't know.
maybe. Cause I might have like filled out a form for it or something, but I genuinely don't remember if I did or not.
Mhm.
Like it's totally something that I would have done, but
Yeah.
I can't remember if I did. But
All right.
I love Dr. Pepper so much.
Let's see. So, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. So I wanted to actually take care of the effect stuff today and like get this fully squared away. So I want to implement that.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it. I've been doing a little bit of rewriting a little bit-ish. And so I kind of want to ask you, I think I asked you this last time. What would you want to, how would you want to apply like a fire effect to something? Like, let's say, it's, I mean, ultimately getting the answer from you about that is like the thing that kind of drives how I want to develop this, because
Yeah.
like with the enemy thing, like there are things that I could have done better about the nav if I had known exactly how, you know, someone else would use it.
Yeah.
Which is something that
I mean,
suck at.
Yeah. The same thing with the nav though, is like it's hard for me to imagine how I want to use it without it like already existing.
Yeah.
So
So, go ahead.
do you have like an idea in mind that you could like describe, and then I can say what I would change or what I like about it?
A little bit. So I was kind of messing around with this. So, let's say that we wanted to apply fire to something that steps into an area. This obviously does it every frame, and you can see that if I were to spawn fire, fire area, that's this one. Whenever I stand into it, it's taking it every frame. But it would be something like create a fire effect and then apply the effect through this util class. And then I'm thinking that the actual fire handler would be attached to the player or the enemy if we wanted to. And then it would do certain things based on that. And I had this set up so that there was an effect fire where we could say that the script class for that is fire effect, or Actually, it might just be called... I have it named wrong. This should be fire effect, not fire handler. But we could have either a generic handler scene that gets attached or a player-specific and non-player scene.
Mm-hmm.
How of this... Is there any part that you're like, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't sound like what you want, this doesn't support something that you want?
Let me look. So there's the... I missed the, like, effect handler thing.
So, this
Sorry,
one is
I was
named wrong.
resizing a window and I was not paying attention.
That's okay.
So I can't pay attention to multiple things at once.
Yeah, it's mostly fine. So this would actually be called fire effect. It's in the wrong spot.
But, like,
It's
the thing
named
that
wrong.
goes on the enemy.
So this one, hold on. Where is space effect, under effect, move? And then we would have like a... so effectively, inside of a place that you wanted to apply effect, you would say, give me this effect, give me an amount, a target, whatever, and then just pass this into effect handler to apply the effect.
Okay.
And this would update, like, this would need a property somewhere that's like, here's the amount of fire that's currently on something, or it would just have a handler that handles knowing how much fire is on something. And then this fire effect class gets kind of routed through this resource where we specify the effect.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's got a player specific handler, we want to send it to that, or if it doesn't, we just send it to a generic fire effect handler.
Yeah. I think that makes sense, yeah.
Okay, is there anything you would change about it? Is there anything that you're like, oh, this feels a little weird, this feels...
Not that I can currently think of. Like, I kind of get it, but I'd really just have to see it being used to understand it. Like,
yeah. Because the one issue that I'm seeing with a lot of this is, like, for the player, standing in the fire, you build up a meter over time. Whereas for an enemy, it's like, if there's a fire that they stand into, it's if they're in the area for a certain amount of time, they get a stack of fire, which is different, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, for the player, it's like, you can't have... I mean, maybe we could do it where it's like, you need like 5 stacks of fire to actually take damage, and it just gives you a stack every half a second or something like that. And we just render it differently, but I don't know, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Doesn't get what you're saying.
Doesn't get what I'm saying. So this game
yeah,
is
like the
not
other
a Metroidvania. This game is a roguelike. Like Enter the Gungeon.
How... So I'm just thinking, if say we had an effect that like doubles damage from like melee weapons, how would we do something like that?
Same way. We would apply it to the thing, and it would have a handler attached to it, and that handler would be like double melee effect or something like that. And then
and that could like
it could listen for the units
grab
events.
onto the health component, or something like that.
Yeah, the events, and then just before the event gets passed
there's
through to
events, right.
the thing, it can double the damage.
Oh yeah.
Because it also knows the source and the card that it's being attacked from.
Most productive talk I've witnessed between these two.
Real.
All right. You might be right though. We're kind of cooking. So yeah, that makes more sense now that you're like explaining it.
Yeah, and then for certain ones, like if there's like if something can just be like, oh, increase the speed of whatever, or like give something a chance to dodge attacks or whatever, we wouldn't need to split that up into a player and enemy version. We would just apply that effect to the thing.
Yeah.
And we could also specify a maximum amount, or I'm mostly trying to think about like if it's like an effect that's either on or off versus like an effect like fire, which is, you know, the more stacks you have, the more it does. Which I think is going to be a bitch, to be honest. I think a lot of this is going to be a bitch, but
yeah, maybe. Another thing that's like related that's not exactly the same is some way to say that, or like denote that a card has like a specific damage type, like inherently for specific cards.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Not necessarily. Yeah, maybe.
So what exactly do you
help? So I'm thinking like something like the Goblin card. I think that should like do poison damage like inherently.
Okay.
And then so that way oh, if I have a build that needs poison damage to trigger things, I take this and it will always do poison damage, rather than just taking like a bunch of generic items and hoping that you get like stickers that give them poison damage or something like that.
I see. Do you think that we should also denote whether or not something is melee damage or projectile damage? Or range damage, sorry?
No, I think that's like should be pretty self-explanatory. If we get to a point where like it's not obvious.
Well, it's so for self-explanatory purposes, yes, but I'm more thinking about in terms of like the actual code behind it, because like
yes, we should have something that denotes like what is this. I guess maybe we could have like even like tags or something.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh, this is a ranged weapon, this is a poison weapon, and then when it like applies attacks and stuff, you can see like, oh, does this have the poison tag? Does this have the melee tag?
Yeah.
And that way we can just add on whatever we want.
So I was thinking for that,
but that's just my thoughts for that.
If I take a look at like what's a good card? Is it called? It's called Card Gun. I'm gonna fucking cry every time.
Yeah, because also then like if we had like even like an item that's like double damage of all melee weapons, we would just go through all weapons.
Yeah.
Or all cards and be like, oh, if it has the melee tag, then double damage.
So we have these mod categories, which is fine. It's great. We could also do this with modifiers, where we can say give this, a modifier of type like melee damage modifier or like something like that. Which one would you prefer?
Like mod category or definitely modifier. Unless we had something other than a giant checklist, because I would really like just like, oh, you can just add on as many things as you want, and it's not hard to like add more.
Okay. I mean, it still isn't hard to add more of these.
Yeah.
It's just like an enum.
I feel like the mod categories are also a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest
It might need to be revisited. It's something that works well enough for what we've been using. But yeah, I definitely think it's one of those systems where it's like, it was made, it worked well, maybe it needs to be revisited because the game has changed. Same thing with the effect system, is it might end up being that as well, where we kind of just like, I make something that is like good enough and supports a little bit more than like what we expect, and then surprise later there's more effects that we want, which requires a little bit more of a
that's fine. The other thing is how do we want to, where are we going to be applying these effects from? Like a lot of them will probably be from attacks, so like how do we say that, oh, this attack applies this effect? Is that going to be like part of the attacks inherently, or is there going to have to be like a attack effect applier or something?
I think that we could attach it to, well, for something like this, if this ends up being the way that it's added, I think that we could just create, like, let's say if you had an attack that was something like this, then you could say, like, add effect, fire effect on you, or like something like that, where like this would just be part of the attack, and then whenever it gets applied, that gets tagged along with it. Or we could have something like this class, which is just like something that should exist in the environment and then applies an effect, whenever something's in the area. Does that answer your question, or is there?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm just thinking, like, what if we had a sticker that added like a chance for poison damage? How would that get added onto the card?
That would probably be something in this. Oh, sorry. It adds a chance. Sorry,
for the attack to deal poison damage.
So for the attack to deal poison damage.
Yeah.
Would we want that to be on a per struck unit basis, or would we want that to be on a per you've left clicked and launched an attack basis?
Per left click.
Okay. So I believe that would come with the attack rewrite that will be happening soon.
Okay.
It's not even like a rewrite, it's just like an attack update.
Yeah.
Because that, honestly, I'm very surprised that we haven't had to do anything else with this system since, like, the start of the project. I mean, this is basically the exact same attack structure that you had, plus or minus a couple of things, whenever I got onto the project. And, like, it's worked pretty damn well, all things considered.
Yeah.
I think the largest thing that was changed was the UUID. So each attack got a unique identifier, and you could construct it using a card. I think that those were the two main changes that have happened since I got onto the project. So it feels weird to call it a rework, because it definitely isn't, but it's like it's a very large update. Because I would like you to be able to do something like, instead of creating an attack every single time you bump into an enemy with the yarn ball, it's like when you use the card, it says, hey card, I've launched, I want to get an attack, and it creates the attack from there. And that would allow us to apply effects at usage time rather than on a per struck enemy time.
Yeah, that way also we could do, like, if we wanted to, we could even do like what Gungeon does, where like bullets with special effects will be like different colors or something.
Yeah. We can also do the thing where it's like, if it's the first shot from like your weapon, it does extra damage, or the last shot, or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, hello.
Okay, well, that all sounds pretty good.
This car.
Zed, alright, bro.
Yeah. What about it? Go on. Try more. Yep. Alright, so I think I'll start by just tossing together an effect system. Which will be made up of, let me pull out my obsidian. Which will have certain things like effect object. Apply to target.
I'm gonna work on the gob
for update handler on application. This would be a specific handler for enemy player. Status bar. This one is the one that's got me a little worried, is I need to tell the difference between what value we have for an enemy's fire effect versus a player's fire effect. Which I'll have to see. I'll have to find out how that's
going to be that hard.
Hopefully not, but we'll find out. Let's see.
My main issue for the goblins right now is how the heck do they spawn in the level?
What do you mean?
Where do they come from?
Are they...
Like, how do they appear?
Is this like a summon that you do?
Yeah.
Have them dig out of the fucking ground.
But they're like goblins, they're not like zombies.
What the fuck do you mean? You don't think goblins can, like, burrow out of the ground? They're not, like, rising out of the ground like zombies. They just kind of, like... They very quickly kind of pop out of the ground and do, like, a little hop or something. Like, I imagine, like, a little goblin. Let me, You play the card, and, like, it looks for walls in an area around you or something, and then, like, a little goblin guy just, like, grows out of the wall a little bit, and then he pops out, and he, like, rotates to be downward, so he'll do, like, a little rotation, and then he'll fall down.
That could work.
I don't know. That's your, that's the... Get the fuck out of here. AI viewer. What the fuck? Hold on. Sorry, I need to. What the fuck is this?
What?
Sorry, I caught a couple people in the screenshot, but AI viewers stream boo. What do you mean AI viewers? Those aren't viewers, brother. That's AI. What are you talking?
I want AI viewers.
Yeah, I want AI viewers. Yeah, for sure, dude. So weird. So weird. Oh, I also added a thing to my stream. I don't know. Do you have my stream pulled up anywhere that you can look?
It's
no, fine. If, yeah, okay, that's fine. Here, I'll do it. Oh my god, it shows up behind the fucking chat. No.
How does one AI of you? I don't know. I don't know. They're just getting creative with their marketing for botting streams, I guess.
Yeah, here. I added this thing where it says Biddy is currently logged in, may not respond to chats immediately.
You're so weird.
Because there are, well, no, because there's times where I'm like, I need to log in and I don't want people to think I'm ignoring them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. You don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't log in.
So what kind of cat is this supposed to be, by the way?
Is what?
This cat?
Oh, it's like a... I forget what it's called. It's like a Japanese...
Like
creature.
a Siamese? Oh.
No, it's like a... whatever you call it.
Like a yokai?
It's similar. It has like a special name though. And they have like multiple tails.
Hmm. Yeah, a yokai is just like the general like Japanese
Yes, that's like the
monster.
general term, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
Balls.
yes. Which makes it work even better. Or let me just pull it up. I think I have it because I think it works well with the Tama idea.
It's definitely not a kitsune. That's a fox with a bunch of tails. This is a cat with 2.
Nekomata.
Oh, dude, like the fucking character from Omega Strikers.
Yeah, that one.
Did we play Omega Strikers? Or was that...
No, we did not play Omega Strikers.
That was before my server was a thing, I think, yeah.
No.
I played it with
We should
Steffa
play
and
Omega Strikers. You're so right.
I don't know about that one, Chief. But I played it with Otter and Steffa, and that was fucking terrible.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Dude, get Otter and Steffa in a room together, and it'll be the funniest fucking call of your life. Alright. So... Let me move this list over. So... I have...
Yeah, so like, in mythology, they're like really old cats, and also like sometimes people's pets. So that would work really well with the train station cat, since that cat is unfortunately no longer alive.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. Just wish those to Dante's 9. Thank you. There is also a free playtest if you want to try it out and see that it's a terrible game and you don't want to play it.
That's kind of
kidding.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. Sometimes.
What in the hell? Oh, Jesus. That was weird. Fire effect? Effect underscore.
I would, but my computer sucks. RIP. Yeah. It doesn't run very well. Chromebooks suck. Yeah, it could run on a Chromebook, actually. Maybe. It does have, like, quality settings, so you can reduce the quality to increase frame rate.
It actually might run on a Chromebook. My pad is kind of ass, and it runs it at okay frames.
It's worth a shot. You don't have to, though. Okay, what am I doing? Goblin. So I'm trying to think, if I wanted to spawn a goblin, how would I spawn a goblin? I guess I could have like a spawning state even. Hello, Alcor. Yes, it's
enemies?
back to translating your nya.
Are these enemies or are these player stuff?
These are enemies.
Oh.
Or sorry, these are summons. No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's the goblin card that summons a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I think it'll summon 4 of them because I drew 4 of them. We have these 4 little guys, and then we got swords and stuff for them to smack things with. Oh, I never showed you the new enemy, did I?
Does he work?
Yeah, for the most part. His could use a little bit of work in terms of the like brain department, but
Brain department. Yeah. Oh god, this is some shit that needs to be killed.
I kind of want him to more try to keep as far away from the player as possible. Right now, it's sometimes a little random whether he goes towards the player or away from the player.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want him to just try to stay within a little range around the player. Here, we'll just do an extra level. We'll see if one spawns in here because he is in the enemy list. No, we do not get one. Let me just blow up a few of these so we have room. See, they'll kind of hop around. Oh, I forgot they get stuck there.
Yeah, that's something I
we
need
know.
to fix.
That's a known issue there, right?
Yeah. A little bit of pathfinding changes need to happen, and that's okay. Mostly.
Yeah, can they get up here if I jump up? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that they're not holding up enough.
But see, they do kind of just stick back and snipe at you.
Yeah.
Feel pretty good. I probably will adjust their sprites a little bit, and they have a little tiny wind up on their shot. I might add some sounds and additional animations, but
I see.
I think they're decently reasonable.
Oh, I see something weird that I don't like. Is that they can jump and start charging their shot while they're in the air.
Oh yeah. I think there's an issue where
I think they should only be able to.
Yeah, I can do that. You have a cat with a gun. There is a cat with a gun.
Sometimes.
You're even better at cat with an AK-47.
Whoa.
I'm terrible at this game. But yeah, they work decently well. I'm happy with them for a new enemy. It's the
Hello,
best game ever.
Mr. Gamersby.
This is true. Is that Bitlytic, the famous Godot YouTuber?
No.
Let's try a better level for these guys. Oh, they're good at this one. See, look at that. They're so smart.
The amount of shit that I need to kill.
Let's see if the invulnerable works. Let's see. Okay, fine, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like accidentally hitting my microphone because
the gong.
The gong. But whenever I do that, my my little Vaporeon guy opens his mouth and screams a little bit, and I think that's cool.
That's
sorry,
cool.
Legally Distinct, not Vaporeon. Oh man, there's so much shit in here I need to kill, dude.
These slimes are so dumb. It's funny.
I'll just change these to effect, and then we'll pray that this at least works long enough.
Oh yeah, let me show you the slime bug. Let's see if we take.
I already
grab us
bug.
Oh, you already did it. Okay,
yeah,
you got it. Cool. Oh, you fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the issue?
Oh, I don't know what the inherent issue was, but I fixed it.
Okay.
I think the problem is the slime dying as another slime moves into the area of the explosion, and so it tries to assign the source to be the freed source.
Yeah.
So I just added an instance valid to the source identifier.
Okay, sounds great. Oh yes, another thing I want to add at some point is a different cursor for when you're in menus and stuff. Maybe a little paw or something.
Yeah, we can do that probably. Okay, so that loaded the effect. That's fine. So how does this work? How do I want to do this?
Okay, so let's start with the spawning first. And the card and all that. But yeah, the goblin has ground enemy input driver on it, even though it's not an enemy. Which I think is very funny.
I can see this getting annoying.
You're back. Welcome back, twin. We are making the gob. I did teach Java to someone today. I'm so sorry for you. Are you feeling okay? Are you doing okay?
Do you need an adult to talk to? I don't think that'll help very much, but maybe. Ooh, okay, cool. I did something.
I love Godot. Yes, I do love Godot. Godot is amazing.
How am I doing on this fine evening? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing like a 7 out of 10, perhaps.
Like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
No, just the 7. Just
Shiv 7.
Oh, actually, I wanted to message the magic chat at some point.
The magic chat. What?
Yeah, and be like, yo. We should
do up on Deadlock?
We should do a commander game where like anything goes. Like we can be as rude as we want. You know what I mean?
That's just a regular commander game.
It's not for me is the problem. Like I was saying,
you can just do whatever you
yeah,
don't
like,
tell anybody this, but you can just do whatever you want in a commander game.
Yeah, but like, you know, I feel bad if like Stefa's like, oh, yo, dog, I want to try out this new deck. And then he has, like, no creatures. And then you and Justin have creatures. And I'm like, man, I don't want to swing on Stefa. That fucking sucks. But, like, I definitely should.
You gotta do it. It's actually so fun.
You gotta do it. Yeah,
It's more fun when it's you that I get to hit.
Yeah, it's just a problem that I myself have as a person. Yeah. You don't have that issue because you don't have, like, empathy. And that's okay.
Yeah,
and like I don't blame you, but like, you know, you definitely don't have empathy, and that's all right, or something,
or
something. Mostly the or something part. Yeah. So what do I want to do? Effect dot. Oh no, not effect. Okay, I need to use the bathroom actually. So what I'm gonna do, I'm putting JW on.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom, and I'm gonna sprint around my apartment for about.
I'm thinking right now. Bro got the zoomies. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, no, I got a Thinkler real quick. BRB.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, well, I need to stop thinking and work on the goblin. So he's going to spawn by coming out of the walls, apparently. Is the idea. I guess. Do we want to do that? Sure, we'll do that. Why not? So we need a 2D scene. This is a goblin ability. Yeah, he's AFK for right now. He'll be back in a minute. So you're stuck with me. I'm sorry. Say card ability. Can you no, I'm not doing that. Do I just call you Tempura, by the way? Yeah, that, or I also go by JW. Whatever you like, I don't care. You are a goblin army. I don't know if it needs a class name, but whatever, we're doing it anyways. When it's ready, check something on the chest. What do you do for ground check? Is that what is it called? Drop to ground. That's what I need is you. Okay. So this function will let me find random points from raycasts around the player, theoretically. Get spawn point. Oh boy, coffee time? Is it coffee time? I had a lot of coffee today. The job I had to teach was for programming motors and servos. That's fun. I never really did any of the robotics stuff. It sounds cool, but I never got it. What am I? Oh yeah, I'm just supposed to paste that in there. I'm a little dumb. So this is from 2. So we want from the global position 2. Wait now. We'll do right and then rotate it. I mean, it doesn't really matter for rotating it. Hello, twin.
Hello.
I heard the gong.
Oh, did it go?
I heard the bitlytic.
My fault.
A little bit. Do you like my function?
What in the hell? It's got the
Isn't this
longest
beautiful?
function known to man.
It's so beautiful.
Oh no.
Why does it always cut off the last parenthesis if it goes over? I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it does that for you, but
I don't know. Usually I don't write lines of code that long. Usually I'll break it up and
nah.
pull
No,
variables
don't do
out in the
that.
different declarations, so I don't have a 80 line or 80 characters. Actually isn't that bad. That's 200 characters or some shit.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really conflicted on how I want to apply these effects. I'm spinning around in my mind right now about this shit. So I'm do I want to use resources? Do I want to use just a class that you can apply? Do I want to use a property that's just a number? Do I want to use a more complex property?
Wait, I'm gonna use recursion. Watch this.
Oh god, why are you doing that? What?
Huh?
Why are you using recursion?
Because if it doesn't collide, it will run this again and get another random point. So basically, it's checking a random raycast in a random direction to look for the ground around the player, and if it misses, then it will run it again and pick another random point and look for a. It likely won't happen, but in case it does, it'll check again.
Why are you using recursion for that?
Because I can just do return get spawn point, and it'll run it again. Oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. I'm stupid. This is the return type, not the. This returns a vector 2.
Dude, recursion maxers be like, no, dude, it's okay that we're recreating the query every single time, and we're also grabbing the space state every single time instead of just running it multiple times, until we find a collision point.
Yeah, but this is so much cooler.
Is it?
I love recursion. Recursion's actually so cool when you get to use it. I'm not gonna
recursion like, is cool in exactly like 2 places. I feel like,
and one of them is Dante's 9.
No, it's not. I feel like recursion as a novelty is really cool, but the more that you like work on things, I feel like you just kind of make the decision in your mind. You're like, recursion, you should just like probably unroll it into loops, to be honest. Yeah, I would say that. That's actually a good way to put it, Alcor.
Holy nerd.
Recursion is really good when you have like nested information inside of potentially more nested information. But if it's like I just want to go until we find a point, like I personally would never write that shit with recursion because like I want my code to be readable. Because otherwise you kind of have to like looking for exit conditions is really annoying in a recursion versus
I remember having to like read I remember having to like read and answer questions on recursive functions on the AP test for computer science, and it was incredibly stupid. I really didn't like how much computer science or like AP computer science focused on like algorithms and stuff, and just like memorizing and figuring out tracking where things are in loops and stuff. Like I feel like if you're doing it just for doing it, it's really hard to keep track. But I don't know. That's just
it's definitely like having an actual application of it definitely helps. Yeah, you mentioned that, by the way, the Duo Gamers. If you go to Google and you type in Vim, it says, "Did you mean Emacs?" And then if you click on it, it says, "Did you mean Vim?" And so it just does that over and over, which is very cool and fun.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah. Also, most recursion you can just do without, and I personally like would say just do it without.
Why did I even open this menu? What am I doing?
I think the only place that I've done recursive stuff in this project is file IO. Yeah. In file IO, we use recursive stuff because I don't know, that just makes sense to me, I guess. But that's because we don't have like, it's a little bit harder to define an exit condition for something like that where you're going deep into X amount of folders. So this makes sense, but I definitely would not do it outside of something like that. Most compilers will make recursive calls into loops in memory anyways. Most compilers will actually, if they find it to be effective, will actually just unroll like a loop. If it's like, the C compiler is actually fucking crazy. If you do something where it's like for I in 100, and then you just like sum up all of the numbers, one of the things that the compiler actually checks for is if you're doing exactly that thing, and it replaces that entire loop with just the like mathematical equation that gets you the answer. Because there's like it's like from 1 to 100 added up is like, fuck, what is it? It's like 1 plus 100 over something. There's fuck, what is it? Formula for add all numbers. I don't know. What's the words? Oh, it's let's see. We got, oh my god, brightness. Yeah, so from 1 to n is n times n plus 1 over 2. Okay, I had it almost right. At least like there's like it'll turn a for loop from 1 to 100 into this math equation, which is very cool. Okay, back to the effects though. What's up?
I'm deleting a deal. I actually made a new Goblin Army card resource because I didn't realize we already had one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's saying that render cards. Is that gonna break anything if I delete this?
No. It's just in render cards, there's probably an export variable that has Goblin Army as one of the things.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's one of the debug things where we can just render all the cards into PNGs.
Yeah.
Fuck, and now we're back to the... I actually need to do coding.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, it's upsetting me. Because I know that, like... It's... not difficult coding, but I'm really... I don't know why I'm so stuck on future-proofing this piece of code so much. And I don't even know how to write it in a way that isn't future-proof. Like...
Yeah.
Let me think. So... I'm typing some shit out.
Hello, Master Liberty. Okay, so, goblins. So we need a goblin scene. Now in both your guys' chat. What? Bro's invading my chat, but my chat's better because we got the little guys. Look at the little guys. They're so cool.
It's true. I mean,
they like walk around.
I'm putting up the locked in sign right now.
Imagine if Bitlytic had little guys.
Moving it to the side,
then no one would watch my stream.
It's not in the way of the chat. Let's say I did fire.
I need to give them more hats. I was saying this last stream. It's not enough.
I'm just writing the exact same thing I have in the other file. It's
bitty guys instead of little guys. It's bitty guys.
I want there to be... I'm trying to think of how much we want the stuff to be defined in resources versus not resources. Because I think ideally we want things to be somewhere in a resource so that we can change things like textures or like text or other things. But do we want to have to... Defining it as a resource feels weird because we also need to apply it as a... Like, we need a specific class, I think. If we want to apply it as a property. Because ultimately this becomes...
Wait, this card looks kind of fire, I'm not gonna lie. Oopsies.
Like, what?
Oh. Ah, okay.
Although actually...
Okay.
Oh, okay. I've got an idea. Let me... So base effect... these need to have names that are distinguishable. Fuck. Because there needs to be a difference between the effect as we are applying it versus the effect being handled versus the data about the effect. So I think what I will do... Effect fire uses this effect type, but actually maybe calling this effect type was the correct move. I could also call this like effect data, which maybe makes a little bit more sense. And then an effect handler.
Judy, I'm trying to check. So the ground enemy input driver is a little broken because it does have some stuff specifically tied to enemies, but I'm trying to remove that. So I'm trying to check to see if it has enemy stats. But if it doesn't have a variable at all called enemy stats, how do I check to see if it has it or not?
Line 37.
Oh, this stupid thing. I still don't understand this at all, but I'll figure it out.
So line 37 broken down. It's an if check. I'll put you on screen real quick. So the if check is if jump power in stats. Jump power is the name of the variable. Stats is the object you are checking for that variable's existence in. And that is like a... Does the script or does the thing that this is, like, does that exist?
I would say if enemy stats...
You could also, and my personal recommendation for this is instead of doing that, you could probably... Well, what is enemy typed as an enemy?
No, it's now just a node 2D, so that way I can use this on anything and not just enemies.
So I think for something like that, you probably want to call it target instead of enemy, but...
Yeah, I probably do.
You can also do... So instead of doing enemy stats in enemy, you can probably just do if enemy is enemy, like or base enemy, like the class.
Oh, yeah.
Callie, no, fuck
You're
off.
right, it is base enemy.
Get out of here. I love you, but get out of here, you creature.
Okay, yeah, that should work.
Yeah.
I'll try that. And that's the only thing there is it's grabbing the stats so that way it can set the movement speed to the stats movement speed.
Sorry, I just looked over at chat. What the fuck kind of message is that, Liberty? I would so invade the noodle? What in the fucking world are you saying? Do I need to get a restraining order against Titanfall players?
You might.
That might be the move.
Oh!
Just all of them at once. Oh shit, dude.
Why were they
using the player as a platform?
Oh wait, I didn't set up.
You've got the ground wrong, yeah.
Did I?
Callie, no, yeah. Callie.
I always forget about that, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not playing Slay the Spire or Dwarf Fortress. I'm typing code. I don't want you on my desk. Okay. So, oh, I forgot what I was doing, dude. What the hell was I doing? It's all gone in my brain now.
I don't really play Titanfall that much anymore. That's crazy. Genuinely insane.
What the fuck did I say I was gonna do? I guess hold on. What is effect? Effect type is, or it's called effect data now. Yeah. Okay. Effect data.
Look at all the gobs.
Effect player handler, generic handler.
A good screenshot of my goblins.
Oh.
They're beautiful. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I might deafen for a little bit actually.
That's fine.
So I can speak out these thoughts that I have about the effects. Did I deafen? Did that work? I actually don't know if my hotkey works on Linux. It does. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm deafening in Discord right now. So what I want to do is, I'm thinking that we have a resource which specifies the type or the property. I guess I call it property, but this would be like a script. Which, when applied, would be able to grab the resource from that. Then we would be able to take the resources scene. If it exists, pretend that actually says something. We can then get the current. Oh, actually, no. Hold on. Wait. We can use the type to attach this to the entity. Right? Does that work? Hold on. That feels wrong, though. That feels very wrong. Because, like, if I were to do something like, base effect, not base effect, effect data. So get handler would return a packed scene. So let's say for example, I'm just gonna do something as an example. I doubt this will stay, but we'll find out. So let's do effect dot target bar effect data is this effect data dot get handler for the current target of the effect. And this will return the scene. If there is currently a... Sorry, this returns the scene, right? Yeah, okay. I want to either instantiate a scene onto the unit, or I want to get the current instance off of the unit and increment the amount that's on it. The problem with that... Well, actually. What class is this? Do I have a class for this yet? Well, that's wrong as fuck. Fire handler? Who the hell are you? Ah, okay, I see. Base effect handler, but this should not be called fire handler. You should have a script called player fire handler, we'll say. Actually, you don't even need a class name, I think. Let's say that we do... excuse me, I had to sneeze. Okay. So let's say that instead of returning the packed scene, what I could do is I could return the base effect handler. If player specific return, actually this shouldn't matter. Hold up. I might need to rename this. Get handler. Get handler scene, perhaps? And then I could do something like get current handler off of this and return out a base effect handler. Which would actually not require me to do get handler scene at all. This would, if there is a handler already attached to something, which is, I can do via saying util.get component from target using the script that's up here, which is called effect. I can say, and yeah, handler works fine. As base effect handler. If there isn't a handler, then what I'll do is I will say handler is equal to get. I guess I would actually need to get this from this guy and instantiate it as a base effect handler. And then I could do, sorry about that, util.set component on the target via the effect class, handler and a effect class. Does that do what I want it to? So this should be, we want to get the current handler. If there isn't a handler, we create a new one and attach it to the target. Otherwise, we just retrieve it from the target and return that out. And then this allows us to check whether or not we're adding this to the player or something non-player, or if it doesn't care. So in here, what I could do is, so I've gotten the effect data from here. I can do effect data.get current handler effect.target. And then this would give us the effect handler, which could do something cool, perhaps. I don't know. Effect handler doesn't have. Why are you yellow? Handler. Oh, this is not. This is I see. This is yellow because this is not an object. This is a node 2D. I'll just do object. Not that it's gonna matter. Hopefully, this should at least get rid of the unsafe warning. Okay, cool. So effect handler dot add, or I guess I could probably call this apply effect as well. Effect. And then inside of base handler, we have something like current or like stacks. is an integer. And then stacks is an integer, and there will be a function here called func_apply_effect void, which takes in a base effect object. So that, for example, inside of fire handler, we can override this apply effect. We can say if effect is fire effect, do whatever we want to with it. So it's like somewhat generic, but can be extended if we need to. Whereas for fire effect, this wouldn't matter because fire effect doesn't actually have anything specific. But let's say that if it had like, I don't know, like var spread radius or something. Like if we wanted it to spread to other enemies, we could pluck that off of the object by casting it. But otherwise, we wouldn't need to. We would just probably do something in a specific way. What would that look like out there? I don't even know if this works. So let's find out if this works. First things first is we have func ready. I want to say target is equal to owner as, or just owner, I guess. Not owner, sorry. Target is equal to get parent. Tick is not something that actually gets called. I don't think there's anything in the game. There's one thing that does tick, which is a timer thing. That doesn't matter. Apply effect should be called. The basic version of this would probably be something like actually, I could just have an amount, which is a float, and then say effect.amount. We'll add this in so that something like player fire handler is apply effect, super effect. If amount is greater than or equal to 1, amount minus equals 1, and I'll just print out burn. Does that make sense to me? Could I explain that to JW in a way that he's not gonna go, that's fucking stupid, why are you doing that, Biddy? Why a float and not a half? What do you mean a half? That's what a float is. A float is half precision in this. I guess it's not like a half, but it's we don't have. I don't think we have doubles at all actually in Godot. No, I'm actually curious now. I'm gonna look that up. Godot docs. Docs float func double. Okay, the float by default is a double precision, so we don't have a single precision. Although actually we can do that with we can have an array of packed floats if we want half precision, or I guess single precision. That's all we got, which is okay. I'm okay with that. And then back to fire area. Instead of doing this every frame, let's do delta. And then for the player fire handler, what I can do is I can actually say amount plus equals effect dot amount, I don't know, divided by 4, because I want this to take 4 times the amount of time for it to go. That might make sense. That might work. Float 16s are underutilized? Probably. Probably. I don't know how often they would need to be utilized, to be honest with you. They're not like, Oh, I need to completely update this class. Fuck. It's not usually the end of the world that you use the float 32 instead of a float 16. In fact, at my work, we actually don't use like raw floats or raw ints basically ever. We actually end up using the more complex objects in Java, like big decimal or long with a capital L. Okay, game crash. That's perfect. That's fine. Script inherits from native type or ref counted, so it can't be assigned to an object of type node 2D. Because I didn't change this fucking script. Player, fire, handler. That's what you are. Lol. Yeah, I guess that makes sense when it comes to like physics and like super low level stuff. I definitely think that it matters way more there than like most people's application. Like if you want to make something super optimized, super high efficiency physic stuff, then yeah. Oh shit, wait. That did something. However, status display. You aren't. Who the fuck are you? Fuck, how does this work? I think this is the wrong place. I'm looking in the wrong place. Where was I just a moment ago? I have effect data in a class that doesn't need effect data. Effect visual. This is the one. Forcing yourself into using the optimized version, scaling up when needed, is just good practice. I actually disagree for most people's use cases. I think that if you focus on optimization first, you can end up backing yourself into, not backing yourself into a corner, but I think a lot of people are driven more by results, and if you focus on optimization, you can end up slowing your results down by a lot. And I think that making something work first and then trying to optimize after, if you find that it's an issue, is a bit better than trying to pre-optimize, especially because a lot of the times the optimization that you go for first doesn't end up mattering, basically. Especially if you use more of the I guess I can't really say this for C specifically, but like talking about something like written in Java, like a web server for like a business or whatever, using the more complex standard library, like longs versus big decimals versus just the raw float or int, using those like tried and tested standard library versions, I think would be better for stability where speed and memory usage are not important. Which I think most people don't work on things where they care about speed and memory efficiency, or at least don't need to care about it as much. I'm actually so surprised that this isn't just crashing. I'm actually so fucking surprised this isn't crashing. Who the hell are you? Affect data. Affect data. None of you are going to be affect data. All of you are going to be base effect. Current effects is a hit components of type base effect. Shit. So this is the thing that I was talking about that was actually a bit of an issue, kind of. So if I were to print this out, this, oh, really? What? Get components of type base effect. Really? Wait, am I dumb? I might be dumb. Hold on. Remote. Let's go find player really quickly. Because I thought that you had a component attached to you. You should, right? Oh shit, you hella don't. What? Effect handler.gd. Get current handler. So if I were to step into this, we hit a breakpoint. If I go into this, so target is, this is the hitbox. This isn't the fucking player. Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot, dude. Oopsies. 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 I need to be applying this to the actual player, or instead of area, I can do area.target. That's the one. So this should do something, hopefully. It looks like the answer is it isn't, which means that something else is broken. Let's restart the game really quickly. And then we'll see if this still breaks. Fire area. Bonk. Okay, sick. So we're still not printing the thing that I care about, which is a problem. Bonk. So target. Who is target? Effect has a target. That target is the player. The player currently has a fire effect on them. Cool. You're an orphan node. You are an orphan node. Oh my god, you're an orphan node. Fuck, I forgot about that. Lol? Not like actually lol for orphans, but like, I'm surprised that's an orphan. I forgot to add this to the player. Target.add child handler. Because this is in fact a node, and this will be on a test and in the tree. I see. This is actually going to be a slight problem, perhaps. I want to play Rivals now. Fuck. Sorry, this should also be on amount or update amount, something like that. If amount is less than or equal to 0, I will call the method on amount emptied, which we'll just do a Q3. Probably. Well, actually, what is this elevator music? What was the elevator music? Was it Napcast? I'm assuming, I think it was a Napcast song. It's not elevator music, it's fucking, it's just cozy. Also, shader compiling might be ass. I've only ever had to compile shaders once because I would rather use a game engine than compile OpenGL shaders. That shit is fucking terrible. My shader compilation looks like finding a file and then saving it, and then it compiles it for me into a really cool shader file. Okay, so problem with this is if the player, let's say our amount is like 0.9, and then it's like 0.95, and then it's 1. What I want to do in that case is damage, and then subtract 1 from it, which means that this goes down to 0, which would trigger our update function here, and this amount would then cause it to Q3. But I don't want to do that, because if the player's still in the fire, I want them to sit there, and I don't want to have to recreate the fire handler every single time they take fire damage. Although, actually, I guess it probably will anyways, won't it? Because the player will go invulnerable. Let me think real quick. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'll do this for now, and we'll see what happens. This might be, like, terrible. On amount emptied. So we'll do that. By default, this will keep free. And if we want to override it, we can. So player, fire handler. I guess I'll actually leave that here. Excuse me, do you have a target? You do have a target. Which means that what I could do is I could say util.get component target health component as health component health is that. And then I'll say if health dot damage. Ah shit, do you need an attack? You kind of do, right? I'll just do this for now. So something like that, I think. Health dot damage. So this is for the player fire handler, which the player will only take damage as the effect is applied, whereas for the enemies, this would be something like every X amount of time as it's ticking, it will deal damage to the enemy. Is that correct? That feels correct. Alright, let me run the game. Let me see what's going wrong. Why is the noodle such a noodle? Which one is the noodle? I keep forgetting. Is that supposed to be me or is that JW? I'm assuming JW because you probably wouldn't be asking me why I'm me. But maybe. Okay, so now what's going on here? Why are you get components of type? So what does this do? So for every meta in this, we look to see... This is that... What? I thought that this would work, actually. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to say if input.isAction just pressed debug _2 breakpoint. Because I just want to stand in this and press debug 2 so that I can step through this and see what we're looking at. So target should be player, hopefully. I'm praying that this is the player. This is in fact the player. You do have a fire effect, which should... Oh. Oh. I know what's... Ah, shit. I understand. Kinda. Well, the answer is yes, I do understand, but... Okay, I know what's going wrong. So I'm looking inside of this function. I'm taking this component type and I'm trying to see if the object itself... so I'm getting the... Let me think of how I want to rewrite this. Or maybe I don't even have to rewrite this, actually. I can probably just change this to be a base effect handler. Which should be correct. For valid props as base effect handler, if prop console.print prop. I just want to print this out, and I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else interesting with this right now. I just want you to print out the fire handler that I have here. This should eventually free itself, I would think. Oh no. It's not gonna free itself. Why though? So what we'll do is I'll make a toString function really quickly and I'll just return name plus amount as a string. So fire handler, yeah, so you're actually not going down currently, which is a problem. Yeah. So you can see the player can build up fire, but the player will never lose fire. That's fine. That's perfectly fine, because now all I need to do is I need to just add a physics process, amount minus equals delta. If let's see. I probably want to do something like var current var time since effect, maybe? I could do time since effect, or I could do... Hello, the real pink mist. How's it going? How you doing? Sorry, I'm a little locked in right now. There's another guy over here that's probably talking, but I'm deafened in Discord right now, so he's not even gonna register. Give me 2 seconds to write this and I can show you the game. I'll probably just call it like... like current cooldown time, current effect time. I'll just call it effect time. Whatever, we'll do that. And then I'll just say effect time is equal to 0. If effect.amount is greater than 0, I'll say effect time is 0. And if effect time is less than 1 here, what I'll do is I'll say effect time plus equals delta. And then we'll say otherwise. We will subtract delta from the current amount. So what this will do, hopefully, is whenever we apply the fire effect to the player, there should be sort of a period of time where after the effect is applied, it doesn't start ticking down. And then once that 1 second has hit, it should start ticking down. And once it hits 0, it should free itself. You just install the Godot Flatpak, so you're watching all the Godot streams you can. That's goated. That's Godotted even. What made you end up choosing Godot? And is this your first time using a game engine? Do you have experience with other things? Like, what's going on? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So the player fire handler goes up all the way. It sits at 0.75, and then after a second, it starts ticking down. Let's fucking go. Okay. So what I can do is I can make this an @export var. I need to make this something a little bit better than current name. So like var effect time, effect cooldown time.
Yeah.
JW.
This works.
Hello, I've unmuted.
What? Huh?
Hi.
Huh?
Question.
Huh?
So,
Yeah.
let's say that you had a period of time where you wanted the player steps in fire. It applies fire to them. Once they leave the fire, there's like a period of time where it doesn't go up, but it doesn't go down. And then after that time, it starts ticking down. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What would you call that period of time where it hasn't started ticking down yet? Sorry.
I'm thinking.
Like if you saw an export variable that was like, this is the amount of time between the application of the effect and ticking down, that it won't do that again. Like it won't start ticking down until that period.
Yeah.
Passed.
Like idle time? Or
Okay.
transition time, I think maybe would be better.
Transition time.
Yeah.
Idle time. Transition time. See, debounce is a word. I thought to myself debounce, but I was like, I don't think JW is gonna like that one.
I really don't care as long as we both understand that that's what it is.
Okay, I'll just make it debounce time then. All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
deafen for like a few more minutes. All right. Sorry, let me catch. What did you say? All I can get. You're on Linux. No game engine or coding experience, save for basic Linux stuff, and the Linux is Mint as well, so not even a complex distro. Yeah, I mean it's not. Mint isn't like super complex, but it's still, you know, there's. Unfortunately, if something goes wrong, you do have to, you know, pop up the old terminal and like you'll do like a journal, CTL or whatever to pull up your logs and stuff. So like don't sell yourself short, but I'll call this effect debounce time. I think that makes sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense to JW, then that's on him, I guess. Current debounce time. Also, yeah, how would I recommend learning Godot engine? So let me think about that for a second, because that's there's a lot of things that need to be broken down there, because if you haven't coded before, then you can either go about it by trying to make a game and learn how to code at the same time, or you can learn the concepts behind coding and then move into using that to make a game. My recommendation, either way, is pick a simple project, like a super simple project, and use that project to try to get your like understanding of how it works down. Try to eliminate as many complex factors as you can. So obviously don't start with like a multi-world RPG or, you know, something crazy like that. If you're someone who if you're someone who learns best from multi-part tutorials, that works fine. Although I would recommend to try to take notes on the tutorial rather than just copying what they're doing. So like have like a notebook or something, write down what's going on in the tutorial, and then after you finish watching it, close the tutorial, open up Godot and try to replicate it. That's my personal recommendation for those kinds. But if you want sort of a not checklist, but like steps, I guess, of like complexity, there's this thing called 20 game challenge. It starts off with like Pong and Flappy Bird. You choose one of these two. These are like about as simple as you can make a game, and then from there you go this is Pong and Flappy Bird but slightly more complex. This is, you know, Jetpack Joyride but slightly more complex, and you kind of move up from there, so that you can focus on one specific thing and learn how to do that well before trying to introduce a ton of complexity, if that makes sense. Something like a game where you play as a circle fighting other random shapes. I would say even simpler than that. I mean, Pong, you know, like get player input. That already might be very confusing for you. I don't know. Or how to move something around on the screen. That could be very confusing. Or you could just intuitively get all of that and you're able to skip all the way to like game 4 or something. But I would say just like keep it as simple as possible until you learn which parts don't make sense to you. Like if I were to just throw out like, oh, you have to do things with like vector 2, you know, does that confuse you? Is that something that you feel like you understand? And then once you try to figure out what that means, if you don't know what that means, you know, how hard was it for you to pick up the information? Kind of all factors into how you learn things. You would like to make a hyper-realistic hacking simulator where you can attack other players' computers and learn actual hacking with it. That will probably be in like a year or so if you learn quickly. If you learn incredibly quickly, yeah. If you learn disgustingly quickly, yes, then yeah, you'd probably be able to do that within a year. But I don't know. I don't want to say don't get your hopes up because you totally could. I mean, who knows? But actual hacking concepts are very, very complex, and especially multiplayer. I haven't done anything multiplayer in Godot, and I've been using the damn engine for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Let me view effective bounce time, reload scene. Does that work still? So that's a second. If I set this to 5 seconds, this will actually go up twice as fast, I think. Yeah. If I do this, and then I have to wait 5 seconds. Nope, just a second. Cool. Multiplayer's that hard? It's not that it's hard. It's more that, what the hell? Oh, it's called Fire. I just called it Fire Handler. Fuck. It's less that it's just inherently hard, but it's mostly just that like it's super. You have to approach it with a very different mindset than sorry, let me effect this time. You have to approach it with a different mindset than single player games. Single player games, you know, you can get away with doing a lot of like simple things. You can just say, I have one player, so just reference the player wherever you need to. Multiplayer is, I need to know which of the players currently in the tree I'm referencing. You need to know, oh, you know, given this action that happened, you know, update this player's information, but not your player's information, just a different player's information. And you have to know if you want to do peer-to-peer or server networking, or, you know, dear God, here's hoping that you don't want to make someone join mid-game because that would be terrible. So there's lots and lots of parts to it that is just like even if you know how to make games single player wise, there's still like the multiplayer side of things that is not like an entire different ballpark, but it's just like a different set of skills that you kind of have to refine. Amount of time after last application of effect, where is until it ticks back down. Export var effect. Drain time? Yeah, sure. Make this like 2 seconds or something. Amount of time it takes for fire to drain after the bounce period. So with this being the case, I think I have to do divided by effect drain time. If I remember that, so 0.5 means that it would drain twice as fast in half the time. Yeah. Probably just go single player then. Make eyes that yeah. It's I mean, you could definitely end up doing multiplayer stuff. I mean, like if you want to, don't let me saying that stop you. I'm just saying that like multiplayer does have an entire set of challenges ahead of it as well. So learning game dev and learning multiplayer, you can definitely do both, but there is just like a lot to learn, basically. So if I set this to 5 seconds and then do spawn fire handler, reload the scene. This should take a long ass time for it to actually drain, right? Yes, it does. Cool. Okay, and then I want to make a function inside of this base class called get ratio or get we'll call it get ratio, just because that makes the most sense to me. That's not how you spell float. Turn for now we'll just say amount, but for the player fire handler I actually also need to do expert var effect build time, perhaps, which is amount of time it takes to fill bar from MC. It feels a little silly putting these documentation comments, but I do want to make it as easy as possible for JW to learn what's being or like to be able to look at what they're doing and intuitively know. And then for the status display, no. Effect visual? Yeah, you. So you're printing the property. What were you doing before? You were adding effects to the current effect array, which is not inherently bad. Should display is this icon container status display effect has display dot effect. If not display, new effects dot erase display dot remove. Display dot remove? What in the world am I doing here? Oh, I remember. Okay, yeah. So what I'm doing is whenever the effects are ticked, what I'm doing is I'm saying at the end of this entire function, the effects array should be our actual current effects that are currently being done. Like ones that are currently active and will not include effects that were previously on the player, or will include effects that were not currently there and are now being added. Okay. And the display effects, new effects. So we're duplicating this for reasons that, for the reason that we want to go from these, specifically the ones that are not currently being shown, we want to spawn in a display. So for new effects, that's fine. Icon container. So we're seeing if there is a display. If this display's effect is not currently in our array of active effects, we want to erase it. Wait, what? If not effects... Oops. If there is a display, we continue. New effects... I think there's actually there might be a bug here, actually. Yeah, I think there's a bug here, and I'll find out in a second. So for current effects, we want to append our current base effect handler, which would actually be base effect handler. And this array here will be base effect handler instead. And then what this will do is I will say I need base effect handler should also know about what effect data it's pulling from. So base effect handler.gd. I will say var data is effect data. And inside of effect data.gd, which is not what it's called effect type for some reason because I'm stupid and dumb. When we create the new handler, I will also say handler.data is equal to self. I needed to know information about like what the name will be, what the icon will be, and how we want to display certain things. So effect visual. We will handle appending all of those. Status display is here. It is currently set to variant. It shouldn't be. It should be set to a base handler, which may cause issues. Effect dot data dot texture icon. Icon is what it's called. Let me just scroll through and look for lines that are unsafe. You're an issue. Come out. This is also a if show fill and not removing. If is instance valid effect and effect.amount is less than 0. Or sorry. If it's no longer valid or the amount is less than 0, we remove. Plink is fun. Ratio, so I can actually do this here. We're gonna have some unsafe lines because this should be effect.get ratio. Are all of these safe lines? Holy shit, imagine if this just works. We're gonna hit run. We're gonna find out if it breaks or doesn't. Okay, cool. So it did break. That's fine. Status effect data can be assigned to a type. Yeah, you're right. Base effect handler. That's so chill. That's so fine. Alright, please don't crash. Either crash so I can know where the issue is or work flawlessly first try. Oh, wait a minute. And then it starts ticking away. Holy shit. Uh-oh. Okay, so there is a bug. That was a weird looking bug. That was a very weird looking bug, actually. Okay, so he takes damage, and then it goes away. I see. How do I want this to work? Because, for example, whenever this gets filled up, it does damage and then it goes back to empty. And I think the problem with that... Do we have any actual errors in here? Uh-oh. Not effects.has. Attempted to use has. Valid object into a typed array. Has effect. Effect is... okay, my current effects. So this would be... if not effect, or... yeah, so if the effect is no longer valid... if the effect's no longer valid or it's no longer in our list of current effects, we should definitely update. And then here... if not effects.has... display.effect. No effects are erased. Display.effect. I can also... there's something else I'm going to do, I think, which is I need to connect the tree exiting signal, which I think would be fine. We're going to see, though. Okay, so we do have some errors, and those are an issue because I'm trying to erase an effect that no longer exists. That is mostly fine. So here's what I'm going to do. Func on effect exiting. I'm going to go ahead and connect to the effect base effect class. Or sorry, base effect handler. And then I'm going to do... where is update effects, current effect. Should update is true if we don't have the effect currently, or if the effect is no longer in the array. I kind of want to just add it in places where... so if our current list of effects doesn't currently have our new effect handler, I think what I would do here is I would say util dot connect signal. I would pass in prop dot re-exiting to the on effect exiting function. Yes. Yeah. And I think actually this doesn't have I need to bind it in the prop here. I also don't know why I'm calling this prop. This should definitely be called like handler, but handlers, and then instead of prop, I'll call this handler. And you're gonna be pissed because I didn't rename everything. Handler. And then this effect, which actually I'll call handler as well. I can simply say this should be an array of the actual guys. Yeah. So I can just simply do effects dot erase handler. And then I can also say something like this. So I'll update through all of these, and I will find if display dot effect equals handler display dot remove. Something like that, I think. So this should hopefully, I just hit F6 instead of F5. Oopsies. I kind of forgot I was streaming with JW because I got so focused on the effect stuff. So I think if I do this now, this will free itself, and if I go back into the fire, this no longer exists. Okay, cool. Perfect. Hopefully. One problem is if I stack a bunch of fires like this, the player just instantly gets like lit the fuck up. So probably don't want to stack it like that. Probably. Maybe. But I think that works. And then if I were to spawn in, let's bind ground enemy fire to here. I'm actually so surprised that's not crashing. What the fuck? Wait, why isn't that crashing? Effect fire. Oh, because you just have a generic handler, which means that you... What? Why aren't... What? Hold on. Something should be crashing. Something should be happening, I feel like. And the fact that it isn't has me a little worried. Although actually, let me go stand somewhere that I know he can't stand, which I think should be right here. Yeah, I'll just spawn a bunch of these. He should take damage. Oh, he does. Okay, so he's not crashing because that actually makes sense, because he doesn't need to crash because it works perfectly fine. It treats him as a player. So instead, what I would do is, let's say, so first off, this is player fire handler instead of just fire handler. Player fire handler. And then what I would do is I would say new scene, which would be enemy fire handler. But attach a new script called enemy fire handler. This would extend base effect handler. Funk. Apply effect. Actually, no, you're so fine to do that. I think. Let me think about this for a second. Export bar fire tick time. So let's say like every half a second. Right? Mayhaps? Maybe? Let me think about this. Physics process. Bar current tick time is 0. Current tick time plus equals delta if current tick time is greater than or equal to fire tick time. Util.get component target health component. Target's a variable, right? Sick. Perfect. As health component. So let me think about this for a second. Sorry. I'll just set this to 5 for now, and I'll say health, dot damage, attack, which is maybe fine. And then we'll say current tick time minus equals fire tick time. And then for now, we'll do that, and then I will make this the player fire handler, and I'll make this the generic enemy fire handler. I will run this, and we'll see if it crashes, because it might. And that's okay if it does. So this still works for the player. That looks fine to me. Oh shit. Look at him go. He's taking damage. Oh shit. I forgot to tell him to stop doing that. Oopsies. Amount minus equals delta. Ah shit, he died. Oopsies. Okay, so he died he didn't die very quickly. He lost the fire very quickly. Export our fire drain time. We'll say it takes, I don't know, 4 seconds for him to lose fire. And if he does, then divided by fire drain time. So that should make it so that he stays on fire for longer. Correct. And then I also want to do a thing which is when a mount is updated, I want to var diff is amount minus val, which is if the amount, say the amount starts at 0, we move it up to 1, amount minus a val would be -1, but it should be val minus amount. So that I can pass this into update amount. And I can pass this in as a diff float. So that... Oh my god, what was it? Oh yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to do was create a function, which is called func get stacks, which will just be an int. By default, this will return 0. And then for the enemy fire handler, this get stacks will return amount as an integer +1, I think, because if it's a 0, it technically has 1 amount. That sounds good to me. And then I also want our last stacks is an int. So this will return the current stacks, which would be 1 the seconds applied, and then if the enemy loses the entirety of its stack, it would just free itself, I think. Is that what I want to do? Because I think so. Let's say if diff is less than or equal to 0, or I guess just less than 0. So we'll get the current stacks. If current stacks is less than last stacks, Q free. I also want to do a super in here, probably. Actually, no, I don't think I need to. And then we'll say for effect visual, or sorry, status display, I want to include a texture or a text element on this. Ah, shit, this grows in... Can I tell it to not grow up and down and only grow left and right? I don't think I can, actually. Really? Can I really not do that? That feels wrong as fuck. Although I do have a class for this exact reason, I guess. Did you hear a pspspspsps? There you go. Now you did. You're welcome. Why are you... Oh, dude, this thing fucking hates me. Oh my lord, it hates me. There we go. Okay, I think that works. So this should be... teeny tiny, I would assume. Why are we not teeny tiny? Teeny tiny it. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's what I wanted, actually. Exactly that. Okay, there we go. JW will get pissed at this if I don't make this the right size. I guess 64 is the correct size for that. Cool. Yeah, because that lines up. And then if I do this and I say stack count, drag this over. Thank you for exporting on the wrong line. It's so fine. Oh, except you're called stack account label. And this is actually also just a rich text label. What I would like to do is ready effect keyfree update display. Wait, no. No. If show fill update display, otherwise... Oh, here we go. If show fill and not removing. Almost. I think what I can do is I can say stack count label dot text is equal to... We'll just like pass this in really quickly, but var stacks is effect.get stacks. If stacks, then we do this. Otherwise, stack count label dot text dot clear dot remove dot erase dot I swear it was clear, but I guess maybe clear's a function on the... Yeah, I guess clear's a function on that. String stats. I don't know if that's gonna work. Guess we'll find out. Okay, we crashed. That's so fine. That's actually so fine. That makes sense. Because the variable hadn't been assigned through the export yet. Ah, shit. I accidentally pressed my interact button, so I went into the fucking train. Haha. Oopsies. Okay, so the player doesn't have stacks on them. That makes sense. The enemy should have stacks on them, but uh-oh. Why haven't you freed yourself? You should be Q freed. Oh, you know what? If removing return. We'll do that. Okay, so for the enemy effect util before, or not effect util, effect handler. What I was doing before was I would append the scene to the enemy if there wasn't one. Let me actually take a look at my old code and see how I was doing that, because I think I'm probably still going to use the same thing there. So what is changed here? So previously, effect visual. Okay, I see. So I was just doing this. That's so fine. That's so easy. Apply effect. So what I would like to do is I would say this. I would also like to drag target out into another variable so that I can use this otherwise. I guess target doesn't inherently need to be a node, correct? Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully we don't, but so if there's no visual, then we want to create a visual and apply it. Otherwise, we are fine, I think. And also get rid of this effect.target. I will just have a target. So what this should do is for the enemy, rather than having to specify an effect visual for each enemy, we can just create one at runtime if we don't already have one. So for example, you can see now he has the text on him, and I accidentally did the thing again. Oopsies. So we can see that he has that fire effect on him. So if I were to go back to here, and then put him in a place where he can't reach the player. So if I were to stand here, and then just like the fire on him, you can see that he starts getting higher and higher stack counts. Uh-oh. What the fuck was that? Oh. I know what happened. So for the enemy, what I want the enemy to do is actually receive, rather than getting a flat amount added, I think what happened was it went like 0.9, 0.95. 1.0, 1.05. And because of the way that I coded it, because I'm stupid and dumb, he moved out of the fire, and so immediately the physics tick, he went back down. And so I hit 1, and then back down to 0.95. So at this point, he has 1 stack on him. And then after he crosses this line, he became 2 stacks. And then whenever it went back, it went from 2 stacks down to 1. And because of the way that I coded it, it just Q-frees. So it actually doesn't care how far above the amount he is, which is a problem. Because that's not what we want. We want the effect to be applied a little differently. So for the enemy's effect application, I'm thinking let's see. So rather than just using the amount variable, which is what's being used in here over a few different places, I think I can use a separate variable, which is like, I can see if the amount goes over the previous amount of stacks. Funk. I would say current burn time. And then I will also say down here, I will say current burn time minus equals delta if current burn time is less than or equal to 0. It should Q-free itself. When we update the amount, if the amount ever goes up, so else, I guess basically this exact same thing, except if current stacks is greater than last stacks, what I would like to do is I would say current burn time is equal to fire drain time. And stacks will actually be... What would stacks be? Current burn time... Oh no, okay. Yeah. Here's what I'm doing. Is if current stacks is greater than last stacks, we will set the current burn time to fire drain time. The get stacks will be based on amount still, which is fine. If current burn time ever drops below 0, it will free itself. And the ratio will be equal to current burn time divided by fire drain time. I think that makes sense. So he will keep burning even though he's no longer in the fire. Yeah. I also want... Where's show fill? If show fill. Who in the fucking world is telling you to not show fill? Let's see. Show fill. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think in the player scene, because the player actually has an effect visual defined, show fill is set to true in here, but by default in effect visual, this is set to false. I think I'm actually going to change this so it's true by default. Because I want to say that makes the most sense to me. Hopefully, though. We'll find out. Spawn, ground, enemy, fire, and fire area. I also need to rebind my interaction button to not be the F key. Why the fuck don't you have the thing? Why did the status bar disappear? What the hell? Why are you disappearing, brother? That's weird. Shouldn't be doing that. Who the hell's telling you to disappear? Uh-oh. Oh, cool. Cool. Okay, that works. And the player's thing goes up. And same thing with this guy, is he will get fire added to him, and then eventually that goes away, and he stops taking fire damage. Do we have any music for Dante's 9 yet? Yeah, JW has a couple of songs in the game right now. He mostly does the music. I think we had someone we were talking to about music at some point. I don't know exactly what happened with that. But yeah, I have the music muted because I wanted to listen to my own music. But yeah, I'll pause my music really quickly and all. So we have this song, which is like unfortunately good. I don't actually know how loud it is on the... Oh my god, dude, he's so polite. Look at him. He's just sitting there by a fire. Dude, he's so polite. Oh my god, I love him. Holy shit, look at him, dude. He's just so polite. I don't know why the fuck he's sitting there like that, but he is. I do know why. It's because he can't path. He doesn't know how to pathfind down because the navigation in this area is like a little fucked up. If I push him off the bench, he'll run around a little bit. I wonder if he'll jump back up there ever. No? Okay, fair enough. Hey, dude. How's it going? Did they both just go there? Yeah. I wonder what that looks like, actually. Oh, there's just a node here. That's funny as fuck. There's also a bunch of nodes here for some reason. I'll have to debug that later. Not that this level's ever gonna have a enemy in it, but what was I doing? Something with the effects. Oh yeah, I wanted to make it so that enemy fire handler, I wanted them to take extra damage based on the current number of stacks that it has. So for example, if I put these guys on fire, he's taking 5 damage, it goes up to 10 damage based on how many stacks he currently has. Why did it go down to 1? Why in the world did it go down to 1? Okay, yeah, now they stay at 3. Holy shit, did they start taking damage? This will crash. No, it didn't crash. That was cool. It's nice to know. Okay, and the way that this should work, if my knowledge about this and the way that I wrote it makes sense. Okay, yeah, it looks like it did. If there ever... I should make this deal way less damage for testing purposes. Like 1 damage per tick or something like that. So if I put this here and have him walk through it, yeah, so he's taking damage, and then once he gets reapplied fire, it resets the duration. So if he ever gets put on fire again, it will add more fire. Like, it'll completely refresh the duration, which is cool. So for example, there was a couple of places that this was happening. So now what I can do is I can say fire effect.new fire.amount is equal to 1. And then effect handler apply effect fire. And I think I can do that here as well. So like this, except that the amount will be 1 times level. So that, for example... Alright, I'm gonna unmute and talk to JW now.
Speedy doesn't.
Alright, are you here?
Alive. Oh, perfect.
Hello.
There he is.
What's up?
I'm starving. What are you doing?
I have just finished the enemy stuff, I think, or the effect stuff.
Okay, cool. You like crazy locked in.
Yeah. I like hella locked in. I got some shit to show
I got
you.
a good bit on the goblin, and then I like got stuck on one line of code for like 30 minutes, and it was literally just because I was running a function but not assigning a value to the function's return.
Lol.
So I was just running it, and it wasn't actually returning to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't notice it for like half an hour, so now I'm just fried.
Happens.
So it's showing off the music so far for the game.
Oh, that's funny.
Because
yeah, little DC in my chat said, "Do you guys?"
Yeah, I saw, and I said like I'll play it on my side.
Okay. Yeah.
They're still here.
So, enemy on fire. And if I apply the fire to the enemy, so they're taking 1 damage, 2 stacks. Fuck it. Yeah, there's a small bug, but ignore that. So it goes up to 2 damage, and it resets the stack timer. Just ignore whenever it does some weird shit.
Yeah.
It just needs to be fixed. But yeah, and the players doesn't have that. The player doesn't get stacks of fire on them.
Mm-hmm.
They like build up fire. Ignore the text that showed up for a frame. And then the player will lose fire over time after they're out of it for like a second or so.
That actually looks really good too.
Yeah, and then they take damage, and then
like I know it's literally exactly the same as it was, but it looked really good.
Yeah. And the way that works, I'm so surprised that these guys are just like standing there.
Because one, the pathfinding region does not go all the way out there, I don't think, or maybe it does. But the benches, if they are on top of the bench, it'll like bug out because it's not technically pathable.
It's weird. Yeah, I need to revisit some of the pathfinding stuff, but
yeah, which that's actually something we might want to think about for the
demo.
The bench in in the levels for the train
Mm-hmm.
stop.
Yeah.
That could potentially cause pathfinding errors.
Maybe. Hopefully it shouldn't.
But I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah. I do need to revisit some of the pathfinding stuff, like the thing that you see in room. Oh God, what room is that? It's not room 5. Is it room 3? I want to say.
I don't know, but the one with the platforms that go
Yeah.
up through the middle of the little circle thing.
Oh my God, he's so
You're
good.
so cooked. You're so cooked.
Yeah. This room has some fucked up pathfinding. But that is good because that means that I have a persistent way of checking this pathfinding. Because this region is funky. But effectively what it should be doing is
it's not what it's currently doing.
This is red, this is blue. These should all be treated as yellow, which doesn't mean much to you. Effectively I want to get rid of red and blue in the final like pathfinding algorithm. It's just gonna be like it's gonna be some more like specific stuff to how the algorithm builds the mesh for like pathfinding. I also want to cache things so that for performance reasons, not that we've really had an issue with it right now, but if we spawn in one ground enemy fire, he builds his pathfinding, and then the next one builds the same pathfinding. And so each of these builds their own version of the pathfinding. But ultimately, the only things that change are like how fast things can move. Or I guess the only thing that actually matters is how high things can jump. So I think I could build a pathfinding cache that's just like, if something is jump height of 5, just use this pathfinding mesh, or like even just duplicate it without having to go through and like recalculate it.
Mm-hmm.
All of that to say that we only need to build it one time per jump height right now. And reusing it, I think, would be a good use of resources. But yeah, so
I definitely understood all that, but that's
yeah,
a you issue, so it's fine.
Ooh. Ah, I see something very cool. Do you see something very cool?
That's
on fire. That should not be on fire.
Yeah, so we might want to have a can't have this status effect. Also,
I'm probably just gonna check to see if there's a health. If there's not a health component on something, I think I should just not apply effect to it.
Doesn't that have a health component though?
Well, no, because that's why it's crashing, is because health doesn't exist.
Oh. Okay. I see, yeah.
Because I think you had to do something a little weird.
Yeah, we should also probably be able to put tags on something saying like don't apply these effects.
Maybe. Yeah.
Also on the player, a lot of the effects like won't apply to the player.
Yeah. But so the way that this works though is I have a player fire handler, and this has like a bunch of export variables, like how long after you just got ticked from fire does it wait for it to go down? How long does it take for it to drain once it's draining? So this is 2 seconds. How long does it take whenever it's an empty bar to go all the way up to taking damage? That's 4 seconds. And so this is the effect specifically for the player. Great. For the enemy, it's this one. It's a little bit more complicated because there's stacks involved, but it's like an amount is applied to the enemy, and it's like, how do we want this to behave to the enemy? And the actual information is stored over in all the way up in data effects, effect fire. So we have the name of the effect, which doesn't actually get used anywhere, but it's still a thing. The icon that gets shown above the HUD. The effect class, which doesn't have anything specific to it right now. The whether or not it's player specific or not, what the player handler is, or if there's no player handler or the non-player is the generic handler. And then whenever you want to use this, so this effect class, this is actually the information that gets passed around. So it basically just has like source, target, and amount. So I actually went through, and your spicy noodles relic, this is what this ends up looking like, is you create a fire effect, you set the amount, and then you pass this into effect handler, apply effect, and then it just handles it. So this one is effectively 1 second of standing in the fire, which for the enemy depends, or it's there's a couple of things. We'll probably have to refine this just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think we would want a distinction between a second in fire versus a stack of fire. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which there's ways we can go about doing that, because we could do something like a static function, like from time, or like from seconds versus like, you know, like a from amount or something, so that we could handle the conversion automatically inside of here. Or like 4 seconds or four stacks or whatever. But inside of the actual enemy fire handler, there is this, I guess in all of the effect handlers, there's this just apply effect class, or apply effect function, which takes in the base effect. And so if there was something specific to fire that you wanted, what we could do is we could convert this to a fire effect here. Is effect as fire effect. And this is the actual, like, this is the effect that we created inside of like spicy noodles or inside of the fire area.
Okay, yeah.
If that makes sense. Which doesn't, this doesn't
a little bit.
Yeah, this doesn't do anything right now because it's the same as a base effect. But if, like, for example, we had like a, you know, var like spread radius or something like that, where it's like we wanted a chance, you know, for 50 units around something, if we wanted to potentially apply the fire around that or something.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
Then we could do that here,
Okay,
where
that's
it's
cool.
like we grab the fire effect, and then we,
Yeah.
you know, we can check for things in an area around the target.
Yeah, the only other thing that I just thought of that we might want is visuals.
Oh yeah, like
if we want to apply
like,
visual effects for fire and things like that.
Yeah. We can do that. I'll write that down on my list of things. Which is the effects, which includes things like particles, or like, I don't know. Well, I'll just put particles, but I imagine you want like something like on a per player, like a player versus enemy effects, or like maybe something has like a more detailed effect.
Probably be similar. Yeah, I'm just thinking of how we would apply it, because like enemies are different sizes.
Yeah.
They all have shaders on them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know how, if we wanted to like change the color of them and then like put particles on them, like how the heck would we do that? But
yeah, I don't know.
That's a later issue for you.
Yeah, it is. It's probably one of those, like, we would probably want to play around with it for a little bit and try to figure out what we want out of it, and then I can go in and
I mean, my first thought is something like Gungeon, where it's like it changes their color and then also applies like a particle effect over top. So like they turn like reddish orange if they're on fire, and then have like fire particles float around them.
Yeah.
Which and then for the particles, I'm not 100% sure how you would set like the particle size and emission stuff.
So
to,
I already
like, the size
actually
of the enemy.
have already thought about that. As you're speaking about this. So for example, like the worm is the one that like comes to my mind, because like the ground enemy fire, you're just like, okay, here's his position. So like you know, a 50 by 50 box around him or something. But for the worm, it's like, you know, he's got all of this segment, whatever. So what you can do is, if you have a rectangle in Godot, like let's say we put a box around this guy, which is just like a 20 by 20 box around it. We can then say, given a point, expand the rectangle to take up that volume. And so we can take this rectangle and say, hey, also include this box, and it will make the rectangle this size, and then this size, and so on. So we can actually just end up like encompassing the entire unit.
Well, then it wouldn't like rotate with the it wouldn't rotate with the worm. Like the worm isn't always a straight line.
Yeah. So if you want it to be attached to each individual segment of the worm, that's maybe a bit more, which we could do.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more of like, if we wanted particles that kind of just stick to the general spot that the enemy currently is, which we can do.
What my thought was is it would go through like all of the sprites and just attach a particle thing to each sprite, and then set the particle size to the sprite's like However big the
That
sprite is.
would not work.
That wouldn't work.
Because I'm thinking of like flying fire projectile enemy. So this guy has these 3 sprites, which maybe would work, but also his weapon has a sprite on it. So if we were to just do something like, given an enemy, look for all of the sprites currently attached to this enemy. Like we would want it to be recursive because it would have to be burrow down based, like regardless of the
I
amount
also
of
forgot
children.
that the weapons are a thing.
Yeah, so there's like this.
Yeah.
There's also if there's currently something attached to it, like if we just want to like their status effect or something, which isn't currently actually rendered as a sprite, but let's say this was a sprite, that would have a potential effect of it. So there's definitely like a couple of issues with it, but we can figure it out. I am confident that there's something that we can come to like use.
But that what I'm thinking is that would work if it wasn't for those things. Probably. Maybe.
I don't like it. I don't love it.
Okay, well, then you can think of something.
Yeah. It's mostly just because like this enemy would have more particles than other enemies because like this guy just happens to be made up of more parts.
But also the like amount of particles would be equal to like this would be relative to the size of the sprite. So like since those sprites are really small, there would not be very many particles spawning.
Maybe.
So maybe we could have some sort of, because I mean most enemies already have like a visuals thing on them. We could just have like a script for that like says, or like set it to a type or something. Because most of them, I mean, there's also like the hit flash component, that like everything has.
That's true. We can use hit flash to figure out where everything is. I'm curious about the worm then actually.
I think the worm just has maybe a bunch of them. I don't remember. I mean, he's also going to get remade at some point, probably. Maybe. Think about it.
Does he have a... Oh, he's like an old enemy. That's funny. He's just like an old as fuck.
About him. Yeah.
Health reactive.
He's like mega unk.
Oh god. Oh yeah, here we go. Don't forget about those. Yeah. He doesn't even have a hit flash. He actually just has like a... He has a material that manually gets turned on.
That's really funny.
Yeah, he's gross.
So yeah, maybe we just like don't worry about him. But I do think like the sprite idea isn't terrible.
It's not.
Because for something weird like the worm, it's like it would go through each segment and then put a particle effect on it. And it would be set to the size. Also, see you lazy. If you're still here. Goodbye, twin.
Yeah. But I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with where the effects are right now. It has a couple of bugs. It has a couple of issues. I'm actually going to write down the... don't apply effects to fucking crystals. Stupid ass crystals. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I feel like I got it to a point where I feel confident that I could explain to you how this works. I'm not super happy with the way that I made this work in the enemy, and I think I might end up revisiting it in like the next couple days or so.
Okay.
And then I'll figure that out. I can give you Titanfall's jump height calculation method. I don't want that personally, because I can tell you the jump height calculation right now is just like it decelerates by X over time, and given some jump power, like if the jump power is like 1,000 and it decelerates by like 100, then it'll only be in the air for like 10 seconds, and then like, you know, plot that shit on like a graph or whatever. But it should be like relatively easy. I just put it in the list because I wanted to do it. It's not like a hard thing to do. I just wanted to take care of this first because I've been sitting on this for a while. But yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to do right now, JW, or are you done?
Nope.
You good?
Yeah, I'm starving and tired.
Perfect. All right. Well,
that's okay.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for stopping by. today was a very code-heavy stream for both of us, I guess, which is weird. But we will be back on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. EST. And I will catch you guys later. Good night.
I need to find my end stream button. Where is it? There it is. I got it.
He's finding it.